just fucking weird, gross shit, cats everywhere. Well, for a place like that, it's cats everywhere. You see five cats in a fucking venue. You're just like, yo, there's cats everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, just trinkets and like curio and like weird fucking like things in glass bottles and jars that have no business being in them that don't need to be in them, and just like gross, weird shit like that. There's blue and yellow lights and all those things. It was like if old Greg from the Mighty Boosh was like a, a fucking like one of those people that call themselves an artisan on Etsy but don't really make shit and also like probably do Jenkums. I, and they're like, you know what? We're gonna give old Greg a fucking warehouse and we're gonna let him put whatever he wants in it. Also, he's mostly high on ketamine. Yep.
Welcome to the 106th episode of the Cast That Ends Creation. I'm your host, Chris Deering. This is the show where I interview bands and public figures in the mathcore adjacent community. If you beautiful people in chat have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in. I'll try to read them aloud. If you'd like to sub for $5 to get access to some exclusive emotes, as well as access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and other streaming platforms. You can listen for free by attaching your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. It's like taking $5 from Jeff Bezos' pocket and putting it into mine. If you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this in your car and have no idea what I'm talking about, so the show is first recorded live on Twitch. Join us every Sunday and Wednesday right here at twitch.tv/thecastThatEndsCreation for the live cast. With that out of the way, let me introduce our guest today who dropped a new EP, To Keep Me From Dying When I Want to Die, back in August. Welcome in David Paul of Ljesus. Which one is it? Is it Ljesus or Ljesus?
Yeah.
Yes. I love that answer. How you doing, David?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Can't complain. So you write everything in the band, right? Like you are Ljesus. I'm gonna call it Ljesus, because I think that's a little more exotic. But you are the band, right?
Yeah, it's my little solo thing, if you will, and I just ask people to play it live with me, but they have no stake in the recording or anything like that. I just record it all by myself, and I'm just lucky enough to have those awesome guys that want to just, play that music and have a good time with me.
So you play all the instruments on the EP, then, like you play the drums and all that stuff?
Yep.
Oh, nice, man. So you're a multi-instrumentalist. That's fucking crazy, dude. I can't do that shit.
Yeah, but your stuff is wild. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, but all my stuff's programmed, dude. Like, you're, like, fucking doing it, right? It's real drums, or is it programmed drums?
The first EP is real drums. I went from a job I was contracted to do in Atlanta. I drove right over to my boy Iceman over in Nashville, and I recorded everything live. I've only been programming some of the last stuff because I'm not trying to drive 13 hours north to do that all over again. And he's kind of the only guy I want to go to at this point. Just because that first EP just sounds like massive. So it's like if I'm going to do anything a little less, I can get away with it at home, which I have been, I think.
Okay. Well, the drums sound fucking good, man. Like, it sounds real. So keep on programming, dude.
I can play all of that. I mean, I've played drums since I was 6 years old. So
nice, man.
That was 50 years ago. So.
Well, so you brought it up. I wasn't going to bring it up, but you just did. So what instrument did you start with whenever you were a kid?
That one. Drums.
Okay. But you're a guitar player now, so how'd you get to that point?
Guitar is kind of peppered in there, here and there. Like I never played it like steadily until I was maybe 12. I don't know. I kind of was a bass player for a minute. I didn't like playing drums for bands. I still kind of don't.
Really? Okay.
It's just not where my heart's at. Like if I'm sitting by myself, absolutely. Like I like to just sit and play. But as far as like playing out and about, being out in the world, I don't like doing it.
Especially why, is it like a self-conscious kind of thing, or what? What's the what? Why
it's not as fun. It's not as fun for me, and especially the way I want the music to sound requires more of the drummer than anyone else in the band.
What do you
You
mean
know,
exactly? Like it's too technical or something, or what do you mean?
the way I would want to emote, I can't do that using all four limbs.
Okay, I gotcha. I gotcha. So like it's essentially that playing guitar is more fun and you can interact with people more. This is what I'm getting at.
Almost. It's more because I don't exactly like. I don't know if fun's the word because I don't know. It's just it's not as the way I maybe the way I move around. It just feels more restricted behind a drum set unless it was really dumbed down easy stuff, which I will play drums for. But there's not a whole lot of those bands for me to do that for that I would actually be passionate about. Like I play drums for a garage rock band only because it requires no effort out of me really. Like so like because I don't make the music, like I just play the drums for it, like I don't write any of it. But for music that I write, you know, I need more out of the drums. And so therefore if I were the drummer, I would be restricting how I feel or how I want to express myself. It, not so much that it's always fun, it's more so cathartic or therapy, you know. So when it's restricted by a drum set, it's I'm not getting what I need out of it. Does that make sense?
Okay, okay. I'm kind of there. I kind of understand what you're talking about. So you play drums, guitar, bass, and vocals. Are there any other instruments you do?
For a second there, I was actually okay at piano, but if you don't play piano, you're well, at least me, anyways. I'm trash if I don't play it regularly. So I
Mm.
can't mess with piano anymore. But really, most percussion instruments, I'm pretty decent at. Um, I thought I could just pick up violin. I'm like, yeah, well, I play guitar. I can do this. And I picked up and was like, oh, I sound like an idiot.
Is
You
it
can't.
not close enough? I kind of thought it would be close enough to guitar. Well, shit. I'm
I
glad I
can't.
haven't picked one
I'm
up.
oh, you should try though, and because you'll be like, yeah, I should be able to just, yeah, let me show you something, and then I sound like a complete jerk.
Dude, I was thinking about trying to pick up the saxophone, like a real sax and a real trumpet, to try to like learn how to play on my next album, you know. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna go terribly. So I don't know if I'm ready to sink in the like $500 investment it is to get like these starter instruments or whatever.
I don't know, man. You're kind of wild. I got a feeling you might be able to pull that off. You know,
I don't know. I don't know
Victor
about
from
that.
Parallax plays saxophone. He played it on one of our songs. I don't remember what song, but Victor plays saxophone, but not in like a short amount of time. I think he knew it from like high school or something. I can't do that stuff neither. I'm just like the embouchure and all that stuff. I'm just like squawk, horrible noises. Like, hats off to him and his talented self.
So, you started like your whole guitar career, like I guess your whole music career or whatever, with Remembering Never, right? Is that the first like major-ish band?
I mean, it is, but it's not the band I was in before all of this stuff. So I've only been in Remembering Never for 3-ish, 4-ish years,
Mm.
somewhere in that ballpark, under 4 years. And so so I have nothing to do with that band's legacy. I'm just
Well,
piqued
that's
my
how you like got started in like doing this professionally, right? Or professionally in quotes, I guess.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Feral Lux was in 2010.
Oh,
When
did
we
they overlap? Oh, I thought that it was that Remembering Never might have like died and then Feralix came after that.
No, so Feral Lux was 2010. We did that for 8 years, and then like around the ending and the beginning of me being in Remembering Never is that the end of Feral Lux and the beginning of Remembering Never kind of overlap, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Those are hard times. That whole ending Feral Lux thing, but it needed to happen. But yeah, I've been Remembering Never came after Feral Lux.
Oh, the thing that I was looking at was showing Remembering Never being like or like mid 2000s or whatever, and then Feralix I thought started in like 2012. Is that right?
2010 was Feral Lux. So I didn't start Remembering Never. I've just only been in it for the past few years.
Gotcha. I did see that they released an album like what was it, 2017, 2018, something like that. So were you on like their last one then?
No, I'll be on the next one. We're writing a new album
Oh, it's
now.
still going on? I thought that Remembering never broke up.
We just played Furnace Fest.
What the fuck? Okay, well, shit, man. Eddie. I
That
didn't do
show,
much research into it because
ridiculous.
I thought I thought it was a dead band. Okay, I'm
It
wrong.
is not a band. We play probably 2 or 3 times, three maybe 4 times a year if you're lucky. We were gonna do some big stuff, but COVID happened, so we were gonna be more active than but things happen. But hopefully with the new record and things like that, we'll be doing more cool stuff. But yeah, no, those are just it was Farrell's first that anyone that of anything that I've ever done that anyone cares about. That
Right.
was the first thing I did. So it's that and Remembering Never and that's kind of and whatever this is some Jesus which
Whatever this is.
I don't look at like I'm not I don't have any I don't have a huge idea of
Aspirations.
what it means to people
Hmm.
or how many people. I see the numbers and I think that's cool, but I don't know, man. I'm just trying to have a good time, and if people like it and they vibe with it, that's cool. But I don't. The motives are just far different from Farrellux. So, but yeah, that.
So
Sorry,
is this more like just a thing to like occupy yourself with in downtime, or?
it's like it's just for me. Like I'm doing it for me. I'm not. I have no. I have no. I don't do anything based on what maybe an industry or what a band is supposed to do. I can't have this being any source of bad stress. Good stress, yes. Bad. I can't have it being any type of bad stress for me because it is just me. And what happened with Feral Lux was based on the type of bad stress that the industry put on us or dangled weird things in front of us, like made us think that we could do some things, and really we just got the floor just kind of fell out beneath us numerous times, or however the saying, I think rug was pulled out from under us a couple times, and it was just really disheartening and difficult because when you're in a band, you got to keep momentum, you got to do the thing and the blah in order to make it to the thing, and then make the next person happy who said that they were going to do something for you because they believed in your thing. I don't know if anyone else has experienced. I'm sure it happens all the time, but it was very disheartening, and we became half the band became jaded by it, and so we it started feeling more bad than good, and so like I can't have El Jesus or La Jesus or La Jesus
Ooh,
or
that's a new one. I like that one. Okay.
I can't have that feeling that way because it's part of my brain, just like Feralix was. So when that had to go away, you know, that was a little heartbreaking, you know.
Well, I don't
So
understand why. I guess just because it brought so much stress or whatever. But can't you just like scale back Feralux a bit? I just don't understand why that had to like completely die.
because just thinking about it didn't feel good. So it
Mm.
was like we had to like do like group therapy type thing, or like try to like it just we needed such a huge break from it that like calling it a hiatus would just kind of not be the truth, because what if we just couldn't come back from it emotionally, and then someone would just feel like there's some kind of obligation or something. We just felt it was better for us to just go out on our own terms, and if we want to reunite we can.
Yeah.
And if we do anything like that, or a show or something like that, at that point we had already we will already be have fresh minds and views about it, hopefully. And that's really it. As far as people goes in the band, like we all love each other still, and we love being around each other, and when we're all in town, we see each other and we have a good time. It was never a personal thing within the band.
Oh yeah, I'm actually kind of psyched because I'm talking to the guys in Possession 1981. My next interview actually. So it's cool to be able to talk to you guys. It'd be really sick to do a Feralux podcast, which we really need to do. We should totally hook that up if you guys would be down.
We absolutely would. We would talk about. We have absolutely. I was on some
Okay.
other thing with Victor, and yeah, yeah, absolutely. Ljesus and Possession will be playing a show together in February
Oh
down here
shit.
in Fort Lauderdale, and we might be able to play a couple Feral Lux songs. I don't know.
Ooh, dude, you're gonna get people hyped, and then
It
but
depends. They should be hyped anyways because Possession is like gnarly.
dude,
So
right? Well, dude, you're fucking gnarly too, man. Come on, man. But let's get back to the El Jesus Ljesus, whatever we were gonna be calling it. Um, so you decided to take this like to the stage. You were saying this is just for you, but you're playing shows as Ljesus. Why involve other people and bring it to this?
because I can't play it by myself. Well, not in a way that I want to. Um, so Ben from Feral Lux is still in it. Sean, the drummer, he was also in it too. Um, again, because we didn't have personal issues and new people are typically awful. So like we just already vibed with each other anyway. So they were down to play still. And essentially they, you know, Feral Lux, they definitely have a lot to do with how it sounded. Um, but it was still kind of more like, it was guitar driven, that band and the writing process of it. So like it wasn't that different from them playing with me anyways than being in Feral Lux. It is, but if anything, it's like they have less responsibilities being with me now.
Okay, yeah.
And I do get, and I still very much care about what everyone in the band thinks. I don't want them to do something they don't want to do. So luckily the vibe is right, and you know we're all playing. But I say it's just for me. Playing live is also very much just for me. I if I could get away with not making any recordings whatsoever, I would, because it's really all about playing it live anyways. It's about what I get out of it. And secondarily would be somebody seeing it and feeling a certain way about it and it maybe having a positive effect on them, as to which I would also, encourage that, because I like to be a part of that when I see it and be on the other end of that spectrum and reciprocate those things. So I also do that for me. I wouldn't want to be in a band that I couldn't play live in.
Okay. Okay,
That's why I got the dudes.
I don't know if like what your mic is. We never figured out which one it's coming out of, but it seems like you keep like moving it or something. The audio just keeps going up and down. I don't know if you're touching something.
Am I putting my hands in front of my face? Is it that?
Maybe I'm not sure, but I know if you're like touching something that might be moving things around. So you did your first EP. Did your first EP last in 2019? And I was gonna bring up how you got members of Feral Lux in there, which is really awesome that you guys are still like keeping together and like making stuff. I can't find a full lineup for like playing live and stuff. So how many members are actually involved in El Jesus? Like live.
4 plus me. So we got two guitars, a bass player and a drummer, and me.
Is that like a
just
stable lineup or does that like change?
No, it's pretty stable. Our first drummer, fuck, Sean. Jesus, Sean from Feral Lux, our last drummer, that we had from Feral Lux. He had to stop playing because he started having some issues with his hand.
Oh shit, that sucks.
Yeah, because he's like incredible. Like he's on the last, he's on Cheap Funeral, for you and for me, like both of those tapes or sides, whatever we call them. He's on both of those things, and he's just great. He's really good, and he's the best guitarist in the band, even though he was playing drums in Feral Lux, which was always something that we found to be funny because I don't know. I wrote most of the wacky drum parts, so I didn't really need to with him. When he was in the band, I didn't have to help much at all. But yeah, he's awesome, and he's just such a musical creature, and it's. I think he should be good by February. When February rolls around, if he can just if he's can feel all right, if everyone can feel all right about it, whether it be physical or emotional, we might play some Farlock songs. That would be cool.
That would be really.
We're not opposed to it. It just has to be right.
No, yeah, I totally got you, man.
But yeah, so the lineup consists of a different drummer whose now name is Beethoven. Now, that's always been his name. Now, the drummer is Beethoven, and he is a monster. Like, he has, like, okay, so he's never been in a heavy band before. So he just comes out of nowhere and just, we do this last tour, and this guy just starts, like, feeling a vibe on a different level. Like, he always, like, did good and, like put out some serious, like, vibes. But now it was ridiculous. Like, if we had done like 10, 15 days on this last run, the man would have had to like replace his entire drum kit, because he was just like, like just emoting so much and just hitting, like they just destroying, like so heavy. Like he just makes it heavy. Like how the kick drum like gets lost a lot in those cell phone videos, you can't hear it.
Right.
I haven't seen one where you can't hear his kick drum. Like he puts his foot through the kick and he's like in the pocket and he just murders the whole thing. And the more energetic it gets, it like actually gets me hype. I'm just like, whoa, the drummer is getting me. Like he brings the attention to the back of the stage, even when he's doing just like a simple breakdown that doesn't, require a lot of flashy anything. You're just like, the guy is just like awesome. Ben is a bass player at Faralux who now plays guitar for me. Ben has always been 100% Ben. It's just business as usual. Like he's just super, he's got the right energy and the right feeling. I just really can't imagine doing a whole lot without him. He's kind of like my guy, like my right hand dude. We've been playing music together for like 12, 13 years now. So it's hard to imagine things without him.
That's awesome.
And then Cameron is the other guitarist who was actually the bass player at first when I had this other guy playing guitar. Ugh. But like, no, I'm playing. I love you, Chris. Chris Brown is his name. Nah, he's my dog. This guy is insanely talented, but he's not in the band anymore. He had to leave for whatever reason. And he was I wanted him in the band because his energy was nuts. And I know he comes from a real place. Like I've known this guy since he was like 17. So it was like getting real people in is awesome. Cam is my other good. So yeah, back to Cam. Cam is an incredible bass player who is now my second guitarist. He's in a death metal band that I'm in with him, and he's total like all fingers, shreds like Cannibal Corpse style, like Alex Weber. Like that's how he plays. Like he sweep everything, like that whole thing. Like he's total death metal bassist, and he can do obviously anything easier because, So like he's awesome, but he's on guitar right now.
What's up with you getting bassists to play guitar for you?
It sounds like I'm doing it on purpose. That's how easy, Jesus, Jesus, that's how easy all of it is. That you can get bass players,
right? Like
to play. So you can imagine how easy the bass player's job is in this band. He's a drummer. That's no shit. The drummer for Ether Coven, which is like Pete's other band, Pete from Remembering Never's other band, Ether Coven, who is actually their album before last, whatever, is produced by Eric Rutan.
Oh shit!
Eternal, and now since
Cannibal
that guy
Corpse.
did a thing and went to jail, Cannibal Corpse. Funny little orbit, but like yeah, he's so the drummer for Ether is my bass player. So really, I just make sure I was like, hey, do you know how to play bass? Cool. You do not bass. Are you a drummer? Sweet. You play the harpsichord. You're really good at singing. You should play drums. But no, only the drummer is actually the only guy that is meant to play drums who played drums before.
So you just do vocals live then?
Oh yeah, and me, the thing I'm the worst at, I do vocals. The guitar player is doing vocals now, of course, because guitarists
Pretty soon they're not even gonna need you to play live. Like they'll just fucking get up there on their own, man.
Actually, that's kind of true because the bass player slash drummer of Ether is an amazing vocalist. Best vocalist in the band actually is him. Singing, screaming, everything. He's insane. He sounds awesome, and he's just the best person too. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never had this put in my face before until you. Now that I'm like talking about it, I'm like, why am I having everyone do the wrong thing? My last drummer was a better guitarist than anyone in the band, and actually than anyone that I've been in a band with. Sean.
Well, I mean, this might be why they want to like do this so much, is because it lets them switch up instruments and such, you know? Like they're doing something completely different here.
Yeah. Ljesus is far more easier than anything than Remembering Never or Farlux.
Really, because it doesn't seem like it's like that easy. Like there's some moments where it's like I can see it being somewhat easy, but like it's still mathcore, man.
Is it? I mean, you got like 10 seconds of no one is getting in, which is like super frustrating for a second to anyone that didn't write it. Like when you get in these other guys to do the thing, because they're not there for it to, as it's being manifested, if you will. But like besides that, the rest of the stuff's like really kind of easy to play, I think, compared to like a lot of Farlux's catalog. I mean, I've only come off. Oh, thanks. I've only come off of my mostly metalcore, because metalcore and like Poison the Well type stuff, or like Glassjaw. Sometimes they do a little cool little thing that's a little mathy for a second, and then it's just like straight like, my feelings. No, I'm just kidding. But like, like it always has like a little tricky thing, maybe here or there, but I kind of don't. I don't know. It's like, to me, like Converge is like barely mathcore. You know what I'm saying? When you consider like the length of like changing parts from a fast 4/4 part to a slow 4/4 part, and then doing a cool little 2-second thing to bridge to your verse, to me is like, might be like a little tricky to learn for a second, but I don't know if it's exactly mathy, but I'm not really the fucking guideline of naming genres. Right. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I know that they do a lot of wild stuff that has a lot to do with, why things are the way they are today. I just don't think it's like, I don't know.
No, I totally see what you're saying. Like even just comparing like what you were saying, Converge with like Dillinger or whatever, like you can totally tell there's a huge difference there. That's why genre's interesting. I think it's because there's a million different ways to like interpret what mathcore is. You know what I mean?
For sure. And with Ljesus is like largely more focused. I don't genre hop like mathcore. You can genre hop and all you want for like a couple seconds and then do something heavy. And I mean, that's, you've just baked your, easy ingredients for your mathcore cake. But like, and obviously it can get way wilder from there. I'm just saying, like, I don't think I genre hop at all in this, except for like, I became a little unfocused on the last 3 songs. I'll say that, but like, it's just really indicative of, what's happened in the past, 2 years, like with COVID and trying to start back up again and then stopping and, just all that stuff.
Well, let's dig into it a bit because you just released To Keep Me From Dying When I Want to Die back in August. What's different this time around compared to your last one?
They're not from the same time frame. So like the first EP, I was in a hotel for 3 months, like, and it was miserable. It was just a certain type of feel and isolation that I was that I lived in, and then finally got to just put it somewhere. So it was focused.
Wait, so you lived in a hotel?
Yeah, for like 3.5 months.
Why is that? I guess you just like got evicted or something like that, and you were just living temporarily.
Immediately assumes the worst. It was the opposite of eviction, son. I was on a contract getting paid a lot of money to be in that hotel.
Sheesh. Alrighty.
Oh, you got evicted? No,
I was trying to think of all the reasons why you would be in, living in a hotel for 3 months or whatever. But that's kind of sick, man. What were you doing?
AC. I was doing a big contract for refurbishing all these ACs and such for a luxury hotel in Atlanta.
Okay,
And
nice.
I love Atlanta. I'm familiar with Atlanta. I got friends in Atlanta, but it wasn't home. I wasn't on vacation. I wasn't just visiting. I wasn't a guest. It was just this weird limbo. And I was going through a lot of stuff at home prior to having to take that job. A lot of relationship stuff that was happening before that. And, kind of just with Feral Lux, I chose not to express out of all the lyrics that I even wrote too. Like I didn't write a whole bunch of them, but I'm just saying out of all those things that we were doing, all those songs, I think we released 38 songs or something. None of them are really about anything other than political type stuff or social justice, type issues that I pushed for since its inception. And that's why 90% of the music is about not ourselves. Really, none of there's probably 5 songs that are about our personal whatever, and the rest of it is about other people's issues that need to be tended to. Feral Lux was definitely about that. And so I decided to try my hand in finally, emoting through heavy music all the things that I remember from being a teenager up until even current issues at the time, and then being stuck in a depressing hotel. It really allowed me to focus and keep a certain sound in mind and imagine how it would be live, because it's kind of how things are created with me anyways. I'm not trying to see what would be cool on just recording and what I would get away with. It's what I would enjoy playing live. Though I missed the mark on that heavily with the instrumental on that, because that was really just how it felt sitting in the hotel. That whole vibe was just kind of that. It's yeah, I'm doing a better thing here as far as some certain responsibilities go, but it's lonely. And it was miserable. And I had a lot of time to sit with things that I never dealt with musically, though I may have dealt with it in other ways. So it was time to just kind of bring those things to the front, knowing that at least the hotel life was going to stop. And so I forgot your question.
Dude, that was fucking heavy. That was tight, man. That was really good. Well, so I don't even fucking remember what I asked either. Shit. That was really a really good description of on there. I will say, I mean, we can move to your lyrics real quick. Your lyrics do deal with more mental and relationship issues like that, depression, falling yourself off, that type of thing. I was gonna ask if those are real struggles for you, but you just fucking said it right there, man. Those real struggles.
Yeah, the last, I think I remember what the question was now, and it was about the last EP. It's not as focused because it's been scattered about and I've had too much time it's really a result of being in a better place, which is kind of good. So now I just have to find a way to focus without being in a miserable fucking place. But yeah, the lyrics are definitely absolutely real, because I can't vibe with any kind of live performance. I can't do it if I don't connect with it in some way, which I understand being connected to just the music. I get that for sure with people and other people. I gotta know what it's about, and I have to try and connect with whoever's around me. So even the guys in the band will kind of know what I'm talking about or what it's about, and whether they connect to it in that way or not, that's not, that's up to them obviously. But I feel that's what we're supposed, that's what I'm supposed to do.
No, that makes a lot of sense, man. B Dowdy in chat, who's actually a drummer for Sterling and 30 Seconds Go, is saying that puts a whole new perspective on that album. I'll have to go and listen again now. Glad you shared that. No, for real, it's gonna mean a lot more going back and listening to that first EP, like hearing your story behind it. Um, but yeah, so it's 2 years later from that. I think this might have been the question where we started that from. What's different this time around on your new EP?
Um, I had a lot of songs left over, a lot of lyrics left over from that time period that I've tried to, and a lot of songs have been written, afterwards where I keep changing my mind on where I want to go, and that's where I've lost focus. And so, knowing that, I just wanted to do whatever I wanted to do. There's other songs that are older than those songs that I released, but they didn't feel right. So I felt like to properly display my lack of focus, I gave three entirely different songs. Like to me, like they have no business being on the same thing.
Really? I think they sound pretty similar.
That's cool. I feel like I put out like this mathcore song that's 40 seconds long, which is no one is getting in, and then I did a Deftones song, Deftones-y Glassjaw sounding song, which is To Keep Me From Dying When I Want to Die, the title track. And then there's Super Whatevs, which I don't even know where that goes, but there's no fucking way in hell that I'm not going to play all three of those songs live, because they satiate, what I'm going through. So it's like, so yeah, fuck whatever expectations that someone might have had on my body of work. Like that's what I went through. That's what I mean when I'm saying like this is just for me, like in that sense, like it's for me and you. It's not for firstly me, because I don't know, I'm stuck on this fucking rock, so I'm gonna make it enjoyable. And then secondly, whoever can relate to it, it's and anyone that can relate to it, I hope. That's kind of the second person that I care about, is the person that can identify or relate to it without feeling left out. So I leave out pronouns and everything, like there's no she or him or her. I'll say my boy, but also, if you know who I am, which most people don't, that might throw you off, but I say my boy to anyone, or my dog. Like I'll say that to anyone. I got homegirls that are my boys, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so
I call everyone dude, so I see what you're saying.
Similar, yeah. Boy, yeah. So like,
but no, like that's actually really interesting, because
boys,
I think it was your second song on the EP talking about a relationship, or at least it seemed like that. Maybe it was the third one. I don't remember which one it was now. But I was just assuming it was with like a woman, but now that you mention it, I don't think you ever like actually gendered anybody or anything like that. So yeah, it's really cool.
Zero, absolutely zero. I'll say my boy, but that really denotes a friend. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a man. But I could see how someone would think that, and they don't know me. But again, I'm kind of just doing this for me, and I'm trying to consider someone relating to that too, because also women can have friends that are boys, whatever you want to do it, or non-gendered, like the whole thing. I'm trying to, I hope that I know that everyone has experiences love. I know that everyone experiences loss. I know that there's lots of people that, that don't experience anything. And I don't know, maybe one day they might know what that's like, and whatever that ends up being, whatever gender or non-gender thing that is, like, if they like heavy music, hopefully they can relate to it.
So, yeah, man, that's what's up.
Because I don't want anyone to feel left out. Not that I even have anything against other bands that do that stuff. Like, I get it. Do your thing. Say what you want to say. Because, like, I don't want anyone to feel like they can't do that either. That's just what I'm choosing to do, And I know that no one has a problem with that either. No one's reaching out and saying, hey, you can't put, pronouns into songs. I know that no one's saying that. It's just what my motive was.
No, yeah,
but other than that, I don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks. Like with these, yeah, my body of work is kind of scattered right now, but it's actually inspired me to find a focus and hopefully emote again in 6 linear songs like the first go around. Not that I'm gonna try to sound just like it or that even. I liked the focus though, and it made me work a little harder musically. Lyrically, it'll probably still be a fucking mess, but
Well, the one thing that my complaints or whatever with your newest one is that it's only 4 minutes, man. And it's 2 years since the last one. It's so short. It's just like this tease. Why not? You said you wrote a bunch of songs that aren't on this. Why not like throw some more on there? Or write some more songs. Like maybe get like an album's worth or whatever. At some.
um,
You just felt the need to throw this out there, or
it wasn't a throw this. It wasn't like that. It's pretty accurate of what I've been.
I'm sorry, I should have said release this. Like release this as it is instead of like holding on to it and like making this an album or something like that.
Well, whatever the perspective is, I'm not offended by it. I think that this might sound shitty. Just like no one owes me the chance of listening to what I do. I don't really owe anybody a whole lot of anything. I know that sounds shitty, but it's like
No, it doesn't sound shitty at all.
this is accurate. This isn't forced. If I forced some like 10 songs, you know what I'm saying? That's where it's what I should be doing is putting out some kind of full length, especially since it's been 2 years. I probably got a grand total of 15 minutes worth of music in 2 years. Which is kind of hilarious to me, but I didn't do it to be funny. It's just and I'm not doing it to hold out on anyone or anything like that. I'm trying to just be unapologetically myself and not be at the mercy of what I think someone else thinks I should be doing, because then I feel like the quality of what I'm doing for myself becomes a dumpster fire. Like there are some things I almost considered with previous recordings, because I've recorded more than this, that I know need to like be gone because they don't feel right. They feel like, oh my God, people are thinking this. Let me do that thing because of like a time frame. Not so much that I didn't like the music, but like there's other places for me to put music. I don't have to put it all into Ljesus, all the stuff that I write. I have riffs that I can take and put in the new Remembering Never record, which I actually did for one song that makes a whole lot of sense where it lives now. It's things like that. With Feral Lux, it's a challenge for me, because with Feral Lux, I didn't have to think about that. I didn't have to think about anything going anywhere because all of it belonged in Feral Lux. Anything could go there. We literally had a 90s grunge song, with a shitty, like, not shitty, but like a stereotypical 90s music video with it, with a disco ball in the woods and cheerleaders and like, silly things like that. Like, we could do anything. It's what I loved about it. It's why it hurt to have to let it go, But like with Ljesus, it's not that. It's not a free for all of all this wild shit, Not that it's even that wild, but like still, it's just not a free for all. Because I do have an aim, and I don't want to make a purely solid whatever my version of a mathcore band is. I want breakdowns and emotional breakdown. No, I'm kidding. You know what I'm trying to say.
It's interesting that you say that it's like a more, I guess, structure is not the right word, but it's not as like expansive as Feral Lux. But you also mentioned the 3 songs on your EP don't necessarily go with each other. So like, it seems you're like kind of contradicting yourself there, aren't you?
Almost. They still sound like they came from me, but they
I think they do too. I think it sounds pretty similar.
Thanks. But what ends up happening is it's not a focused body. It's like I could spread that over 10 songs and make everything in between, make it cohesive, or put it together. Because, just in that weird way, I think that the instrumental, the Hotel Again, I think it's appropriate, even though it's very weak compared to the other songs. But it doesn't leap between universes all in one song the way Feral Lux does.
Gotcha. I gotcha. That makes sense. Um, yeah, I would kind of say that the sound that you're messing with is like melodic metalcore, some post-hardcore and mathcore elements. Obviously, a huge reminiscence of like Feralux and stuff. Like I was saying, my only complaint is that it's too short. But you're definitely an influence on a lot of other artists. I'm interested in knowing what your influences are.
So for El Jesus, La Jesus, La Jesus, and everything in
I
between,
like Le Jesus. I think that's the one you should go with.
we'll go with that. La Jesus. At this rehearsal studio we go to, they always put a fucking apostrophe after the L. And I go to their board and I wipe it off. I'm like, there's no apostrophe. You're adding an extra character to my name, and I don't like how it looks.
I can see an apostrophe. You don't like the apostrophe?
No, man. That's like a mustard brand or something. Like you know what I'm saying? It's like some fucking delicatessen shit. I don't know. It's like, you want you some expensive horseradish? Try this La Jesus horseradish. I don't know. That's why it makes me, yeah.
Dude, that's a good merch concept. Like just come out with your different sauces.
That's it. That's what's gonna go down the sleeve. See, it's just gonna say like El Jesus, and then down the sleeve it'll say all these different sauces. Just that sentence and nothing else. And I'm gonna be rich in a couple weeks. Thank you for that idea.
Yeah, there you go, man. Just
Me.
throw me a couple bucks whenever you get rich. You know what I mean? No.
Nah, man, I'm in it for the money. Can't you tell?
I do gotta ask, where did El Jesus Le Jesus? Where did that come from? Why'd you name it that?
It was a typo from someone that I was having an issue with. It was probably supposed to be, ugh, Jesus. I'm assuming, but it ended up just being just the way you see it. LJESUS. And I was just like, and that was a heavy thing, I guess. It sounds funny, but at the time I just remember it being like a more heavy and like feeling of issue, etc., whatever. And I was just like, I really like how that looks, and I'll take that. And that was really it. Purely nothing else.
Okay, I thought it was gonna have like some kind of deeper meaning behind it or whatever, but I really like that. Like, there's a lot of bands where I'll be like, oh, that must have like a really deep meaning, their name or whatever, and it usually ends up being something really dumb. So we did kind of gloss over the last question though. What are your influences for El Jesus?
Fuck, I knew it. I got lost. El Jesus. I might miss a couple, but I'd say Poison the Well for sure is in there. Sometimes Converge, sometimes kinda, maybe like, yeah. Not really every time I die, though. There is a riff that I did out of spite. But
Out of spite? Like, what do you mean?
Like out of spite, like not out of spite of every time I die, but out of spite for the person that likes every time I die. So I was just like,
okay. I was gonna say if we had like drama going on between you and Every Time I Die, but I'm glad there's not. I'm glad there's not.
God, no. They're just like, who? I mean, they know Pete probably from Remembering Never, but they don't know me. They played all types of underground small ass shows back in the day in the early 2000s, but they don't know my ass. They don't give a fuck about me. Ain't nobody. Not like that. Definitely Poison the Well, some Glassjaw. There was a local band here called Cinderblock. That was just straight fucking ignorant with their riffs. And I ended up being in that band. I'm still in that band. But before I was, the band's like largely inactive, but like I saw what they brought and like what it did to people, and I was just like, oh, I want to do some of that and just kind of do my unhinged, whatever on top of something like that. And that's kind of what the first EP has peppered in with it. It's kind of just Cinderblock, Poison the Well, smidge of Every Time I Die with like a riff. I know that there's some similarities from hearing people talk about it, but I honestly was not trying to do anything else like that. So when people say that, I'm like, cool, but I didn't do it on purpose. Big ups to that band though, they're rad. Every Time I Die.
Yeah, I heard the new one kind of recently. It was pretty sick.
Yeah, I haven't been able to hear it yet. I've been obsessed with some other music at the moment, but we'll talk about that later. Yeah, You Come Before You is kind of a big deal for me from Poison the Well. So I guess that and whatever I don't really have much else to say about it.
Yeah,
for LGs.
I got you.
Trying to think.
I haven't actually really sat down with Poison the Well yet. I really need to.
Yeah, sure. I feel like they peaked with You Comes Before You, and the album after that, Tropic Rot, is good and different, and I think it's a great album, and they have a lot of like extra releases. The stuff before it is cool as fuck too, because it's just like they're the godfathers of, or whatever fathers of metalcore. So there are certain things that you just kind of feel, like you feel like you're not genetically, but you know what I'm saying, musically you feel like you're supposed to like it. And I like it just because like I came up around it because they're from down here anyways. So like I think it's more of like a history thing with the first album or two, and you can just see why so many kids just like they're all adults now that just want to like mash stuff, like come out of mosh retirement for their boys, because like that metalcore shit, man, they're a big part of it, just like all the bands from each movement that happens. There's that staple band that was a big deal about it, and Poison the Well, and soon, a little while after, Remembering Never was also kind of part of that too. And Converge had largely had some metalcore, but they're more on the punk side of it, I guess. I don't know. They're so like different and in their own world that it's like you get to like kind of throw them into the forefront of a few things,
Right.
But yeah, I feel like maybe Converge is the Motorhead of metalcore. They're like the next punk metal thing that's not punk nor metal. That's what Motorhead was. Motorhead was punk and metal but you'd be like, why the fuck are they doing? Like, I would want to hear Motorhead be in the same like show as like a punk, but that's like the mathcore nerd me. I'll see an eclectic show like that, but like it's punk and metal.
Yeah.
And then it's just their take on it's just fucking rad. But yeah, Poison Well. What the fuck was I saying? I'm so sorry. I feel like I keep veering off of what you're.
Dude, it's all good, man. It's all good, man. So how do you write your songs? Do you like start with an instrument in particular, or is it just whatever you're feeling?
It gets written on guitar for sure. Not always first. I usually think about what I would like to express vocally live and what would sound good with that. So it's a lot of humming to myself or trying to like, figure out a rhythm that just mashes some kind of like feeling, something that I could just like kind of just float in for a minute and then just bring it. So like there's that, and if I, and what may be the tone of what I'm thinking of, what I want the lyrics to be about. And then I'll sit on guitar and try to make that happen.
Okay. The
guitar comes, because I played drums for so long, it's not really the drums aren't really questionable. I don't worry about them. I kind of get an idea of what I would like to hear while I'm playing guitar. So that just comes pretty quickly, and then I'll demo the beat, like program it and what, just so I can play along to it and real quick. And if I need to change a feel, I'll do that. And bass is dead last because it's the least important thing in this band. It's not like Feralux where like Ben made a lot of cool and interesting things. Like I couldn't get just any dickhead bassist to play in Feralux. It wouldn't be what it was without him. He just does a lot of neat things. But in Ljesus, it's just like, nah, bro.
Basically, just following the guitar.
Yeah, I'm not looking for. I'm not looking for anything wild to happen on the bass end of things. It's Ljesus Jesus is supposed to be more so about expression and not so much about trying to make anyone, I guess, impress anyone or make anyone think that it's cool because anything would be difficult. I don't find any of it to be that difficult, except for that one little spastic thing, and no one is getting in. Everything else to me is just completely easy. So, or like, not like pop punk easy, but like, just easy for anyone that's been playing heavy music for a little bit. I feel like anybody could play it. So bass is definitely gonna get like the shit end of the interesting stick. No one's gonna be like, oh shit, did you hear that bass line in that Jesus song? Like, no. And I'd be like, I hope not.
You were saying that you hum guitar melodies and shit like that in your head. Are you like the kind of person that would be walking around that strikes you and pull out your phone and you record it on like your voice memos?
Not often.
Oh, okay, I kind of feel like you'd be that kind of person. That'd be like off in the corner somewhere, just like making noises with your mouth or whatever. I was that person, so I feel like you'd have been like that.
That's cool. I support that. I've only had to do it a couple times because I knew I was going to have a super busy day and wouldn't remember it. But there's times with the way my memory works with music, I know that I can have confidence in that if I didn't remember it, it wasn't worth remembering. Me specifically. But if I'm having like a super jam-packed busy day, sometimes I will hum a certain rhythm that I'm like, ooh, this would go hard. I don't want to forget this because today is going to be mad busy, and I listen to like 100 different types of music to get through certain parts of my day. So it's like, this is going to throw me way off because like I get hooked in to like certain melodies and leads, slower leads and stuff, to where like I'd just be like, huh, what rhythm? Which is weird because I'm obsessed with different rhythms and weird shit like that. That's why I like to, do the mathcore stuff back in the day. In the day, so long ago.
Well, you're still doing the mathcore stuff. It's just a little bit easier. It's more like about rhythms and stuff like that.
Village, yeah.
But yeah, so this one was recorded by Ben from Feralux, and I guess you have Jesus written in here too as like part of credits. So I assume you were helping him out with that. Well, obviously you were the one recording it, but yeah, it's also mixed and mastered by Ben. So is he like your go-to guy now for production and stuff?
He doesn't produce anything, but we record and we pretty much create the album between our two homes. The last half of it kind of happens over there, mixing and vocals, and sometimes guitars. Sometimes we'll do guitars in a different way. I don't want to go too deep into that, but that's really it. That's where I go for that. He gets all my, he gets the guitar and drums from me, and bass, and then we just kind of finish out the rest of it over at his crib.
Oh yeah. So who did the artwork? We got the cover up on the stream right now.
Me.
So you did.
I bought the picture from the photographer, and then I altered it heavily, and that's it. The first EP, I just bought the picture from Kate, and I didn't have to do anything to that. It was perfect the way it was, and I just grateful that she even let me get it from her, because it's weird how it worked out. Because the first version of the album cover for Last was a heavily altered picture of the Crosses album, um, just the self-titled album with the girl and the three crosses on the front, and I just did all types of wild shit for that, and turned it upside down and everything. So that that one's not touched, but yeah, I kind of do all the artwork for all of it. The album cover for Last is the only one I didn't alter or do anything to. All the rest of the stuff, I'll either take the pictures myself. Most of the times, it's me taking the pictures myself, and then shopping them into looking like whatever they look like. Like all the graphic or whatever design art stuff that's on the Instagram is all like 99% me.
Is there a reason why you chose this photo in particular for the cover, or is it just a cool looking photo?
So it's in that scene, he's being polite. He entered into a situation in that scene where he's not supposed to have been kissed.
Mm.
She's got the blindfold on and she does the thing, and he wasn't supposed to be there at that moment, so he was, he stands firm not to embarrass her, but also to not engage. And it's kind of like what maybe I should have done.
Okay.
In certain situations.
I got you. I'm not gonna press too hard on that. Seems like you don't really want to talk about that type of stuff. But
you can if you want. I just don't know. I'm not trying. I don't want to ear fuck you. So.
Dude, you can fuck my ears all night long, my man.
Well, let me get enough drinks.
So we got a question that we ask everybody here. What do you put on your hot dogs? Yeah, out of left field, keeping you on your toes, man. That's what this is about.
That's fine. I like chili dogs with relish.
Okay,
chili beans,
I can see that.
Relish, chili beans, and potato sticks, and I do a line of mustard on the top of that. Oh,
damn, that sounds good, actually, man.
Not relish. It looks the same. I'm fucking it up. The diced jalapenos in the same, like pickled jalapenos. You know what I'm talking about? And the same thing. It looks like relish, but it's actually diced jalapenos.
I've not seen that.
You get them in the same jar. So diced jalapenos on top of the chili beans, spicy chili beans, with potato sticks and mustard, and that's my favorite.
Okay.
Hot dog.
You like them spicy as fuck, then, huh?
Which it won't be a real hot dog anyway. So.
Hell yeah, man. So I feel like you were telling me not to ask this, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. What's next for you? In Ljesus. Planning on going on tour or something like that? I saw you did a string of dates.
Yeah, we did some stuff with Blind Tiger. For the next, I love those guys to death.
Hell yeah. They're awesome.
Yeah. They're really good people. And they're mad talented. Me and Ben are pretty much going to hunker down for the next 6 weeks and record. Just kind of just like
for Ljesus?
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be that. We're going to be doing that for the next 6 weeks. And before we end up rehearsing again. So rehearsal is off. Usually, we rehearse once a week, like on a little venture, once or twice, whatever. So that's off, and we're going to be recording something. And, I have a few friends that have labels and whatnot or whatever is going on. I'm going to ask them if they're interested in it. And if they're not, cool. I'll just put it out on my thing anyways. Again, not trying to be hung up by the world, but I'm probably going to put out another 6 songs.
Dude, make it an album. You could do that. Come on.
I feel like, well, like how many tracks?
Uh, I don't know, man. Just as long as it's like 20 minutes or so, that's about what I go for an album.
Like 20 tracks.
It is close to 20 tracks for you, yeah, isn't it?
20 tracks. It's like a double LP. Double LP is picked on one side. Side A, 20 tracks. Oh my eye. It's like fucking that one shitty band, Anal Cunt.
Yeah.
30-second songs. Guy's a piece of shit. He's dead.
Um. So you played a lot of shows. Obviously, it's Farolux and Remembering Never. Did a little bit of Ljesus. What's the best show you played?
So the best show I've played is at Furnace Fest. We played Remembering Never, played a pre-show or a kick pre-party, I don't know, with a bunch of throwback bands and Norma Jean.
Okay. I guess you don't consider them a throwback band then?
The throwback bands were metalcore throwback bands, and Norma Jean is a mathcore band. Still active and still does stuff, and it's still, yeah, they're I think a lot of their stuff has to do with maybe throwback stuff. I don't know. But he said some tone deaf stuff that he tried to backpedal on, which that's fine. It's of no consequence to me. But what was great about it is like it wasn't that part. The Norma Jean part wasn't the great part about it. No offense to anyone in that band. Not that I am wildly concerned with that. I think they're adults. You know, they wouldn't care what I say. But that show was ignorant. It was like 1,400 people. It was sold out. And
God damn.
And it was fucking crazy. And I was kind of taken back by it. And to the point of not playing guitar the way that people who've seen Farolux might expect me to play guitar. I was tame in comparison because I just couldn't, it was just wild. I've never played to a sold out venue of 1,400 people and then be absolutely batshit about the band that I'm playing in. So that was an amazing feeling. It was awesome. And I had to absolutely jump in that shit at the end. And then just enjoy myself with that. Especially since Remembering Never has similar politics to Farolux, if not exactly the same. So like all those people vibing to that thing and you know, especially after all these years, it was really awesome to kind of be on the same, like, you know, wavelength with that many people and all of them like vibing with us. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, man, 1,400 people. That's like not a joke. That's insane. Holy shit. Yeah. Couldn't even imagine what that looks like.
Overwhelming for
sure.
For me. Sure. I mean, I did it before, but it was like no one cared what we were doing, which was fine. Like because Farolux opened up for Summer Slaughter tour when it became a death metal thing again. I mean, we did it when Dillinger headlined it too, and that was like had less people in it compared to the Cannibal one, like less crowd, less draw, but more response as far as people like moving around. And that was cool when we opened for that. And then like a year or two later, we opened up for Summer Slaughter tour again, but this time it's with Cannibal Corpse and Nile and Suffocation and all these bands that are completely not Farolux.
I was gonna say it doesn't really work.
Revocation, like the bass player from Revocation came up to us after we played and like was like, "You guys are rad," and I was like, "What the fuck? Thanks, that's crazy. Thank you so much." Guy who's in a fucking incredible fucking like, you know, death metal band that's also like they got like some time signature chop type stuff too, you know, going on.
Yeah.
At times. But they're super talented. So number 2 would probably be that show though, because like we played at the Masquerade in Atlanta when it was in that mill, that old wood pulp mill, and we played at in the Heaven stage. So it was like, I think it was like 1,600 cap, and there was probably around the same amount of people there for that. They just didn't give a fuck that we were playing, but they were nice, and they're like, yeah, woo, good for you guys. Where the fuck's your death metal bands out? And it got ignorant as fuck after us. It got wild. Like, it was so cool. We were happy for the opportunity, and it was awesome to play with like legends, you know what I mean, from like so long ago that are still putting out good records now. Cannibal is still consistent. But yeah, did you want to know the worst?
Oh, that was gonna be the next one actually. What the worst show was? Yeah.
Fuck. What is the worst? Worst show that Ljesus has played? God. I'm really too nice. All right. These fucking... I hate it when... I don't know if anyone experiences this, but like... If you're in a local band, no offense to anyone, but like if no one's heard of you at all and you're still like very, very low level and you just started out and you're just trying to play some cool shows and you're putting some shows together for your first like 5 shows or something, like if it's one of your first like 5 or it's your 6th show or something and no one fucking cares, kind of like my 5th show, even as Ljesus, like down here, it's very weird down here. It's not the same. I'd probably do better elsewhere. But
Well, I was like, don't you have fans of Feralix that are following you? You can't possibly be like an unknown entity down there.
Yes, but South Florida is very transient and people leave here a lot. So like those people are scattered about.
Okay.
It's not I said we do better in Panama City than here, which I'm just now learning. Which is 9 hours away from South Florida. So, things like that. But anyways, these guys are just like, they let the show run late, and we were supposed to play at like maybe 11:30 or something, and even though they let the show run late and like be garbage changeovers and all that stuff, we ended up playing at like 1 o'clock because they thought that they should play a 45-minute set to nobody, like literally nobody, except for the bartender, which I didn't understand, and I didn't want that for them. I didn't want them to play to nobody. It's just like, what are you doing 45 minutes for? Making you play at 1 o'clock, which we had 10 people that were already pissed off about it because they kind of just know how that world operates. So they just kind of hung out with us and didn't really even watch their show because they were mad, which I also didn't advise them to do. But it was just like, why are you playing before? Anyways, it was fucking awful. I got hammered, trashed. I was rolling around on the grossest floor possible, playing to our 5-10 friends. It sounded like dog shit. And my band was mad at me for not taking it more seriously, even though it was 1 a.m. And they're kind of right. You're supposed to do every show, be professional and do the thing. And I just was so full of hatred. It's such a bad show that it's not even a good story. That's how bad that show was.
No, I've definitely had issues like that. Like, I actually just got back from tour, and yeah, there were definitely some bands that were doing that. Played pretty late a couple of times because it's really annoying.
Yeah, it's like, why, bro? No one's paying you. There's bands that literally play for 25 minutes that get like, I don't know, $3,000. Why are you playing for 45 minutes for like $50? What the fuck you doing?
They even got paid. Like, that's crazy. Okay. Like, usually bands like that wouldn't be getting anything. So
I don't know if they got paid. Just if they're expecting anything more than $50, they're ridiculous, because it was like a dive thing, and we only get like a few $100 to split between 4 bands or some shit.
Right.
Just like, who told you that you need to play 4 or 5 minutes, bro? There's bands that get like, it's ridiculous. There's bands that play for 45 minutes that only make $7,000. Not only, but like that makes $7,000.
I was gonna say only, like, Jesus.
No, sorry. They make $7,000 in 45 minutes. Where is it just like, I should do that too for $0. That's
That's what rehearsal's for. You gonna play to nobody for 45 minutes? Fucking stay in your warehouse, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's like, if that sounds mean, it's just like, why are you gonna inconvenience everyone else around you for that?
No,
This sucks.
yeah, for real. Especially if you're like a no-name band or whatever, you know what I mean? Haven't made your mark yet, like, just like play like your best songs and make it short and sweet.
Yeah, which if I played every song I have now, there's nothing I couldn't give you 30 minutes worth of it.
If you played all your songs, it would make like about 20 minutes of a set, so
And I didn't want to do them back to back either. I put like samples in that shit and just like break it up between like 8 songs.
Okay. So like 22 minutes then, okay. What's your weirdest show you played? Like any weird venues or anything like that?
Yes. Oh my god.
Do
There's
tell.
this fucking place called Super Happy Fun Town. Which
What?
that is slightly, I don't know, could be a little racially insensitive.
Really?
Well, because like Super Happy Fun is, yeah, it's kind of like an Asian way of like when.
Okay.
It's it's Houston, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I think they meant it. Super Happy Fun Town because it's like in the 60s. Anyways, it's a thing. But like that place was this massive, awesome looking warehouse right next to a train track. And these motherfuckers have a whole shrine of Raggedy Ann dolls stitched together, and nothing but church pews in front of this huge stage. But off to it's like, so you open the door, there's a stage, a bunch of pews, like church pews, and then a stage, and a legitimate like speaker thing happening somehow, like set right at legitimate for that stage. And then to the left is just pure chaos. Someone fucking lives there, I guess, and there's no like roof to their home that's there, so it's just like a maze of a house kind of off to the side. There's a marketplace thing for like art and stuff. None of the artists were there, and I don't know what that has to do with, but like all the art is terrifying. We were talking Raggedy Ann doll. The one section was just nothing but a bunch of Raggedy Ann dolls stitched together. The place reeks of ammonia, reeks of cat piss. It is insane. Like you go in there and just like your sinuses start like sizzling. You're just like singeing.
Like, oh yeah, it's cat piss.
Like, oh fuck. You know what I'm saying? You're just like, well, once I get out of here, I'll be able to breathe forever. And like just fucking weird, gross shit, cats everywhere. Well, for a place like that, it's cats everywhere. You see 5 cats in a fucking venue. You're just like, yo, there's cats everywhere.
Yeah.
Like just trinkets and like curio and like weird fucking like, things in glass bottles and jars that have no business being in them, that don't need to be in them, and just like gross weird shit like that. There's blue and yellow lights and all those things. It was like if old Greg from the Mighty Boosh was like a fucking like one of those people that call themselves an artisan on Etsy but don't really make shit, and also like probably do Jenkums. And they're like, you know what? We're gonna give old Greg a fucking warehouse and we're gonna let him put whatever he wants in it. Also, he's mostly high on ketamine. He likes art now. He likes art now and Raggedy Ann, and here's his fucking place, and he's not eating cats. Thank fuck. So that's his.
And you played a show there.
The other bands. Now, who are the other bands? There was this solo act guy. He was a fucking like pop star type of thing he was going for. So he put on a track that was nothing but pop. It was a pop song, almost in a boy band type way.
Okay.
And he did a full set like that. So it was like bootleg Justin Timberlake shit. And he was asking for callbacks with a mic, like, this is Farrellux playing with this guy. And then and that was like super cringe, but hey, hats off to him. He did the whole fucking thing the way that he wanted to do it. Then there was an acoustic act because at that time, for some reason, every hardcore show had a fucking acoustic act or had a guy pacing back and forth at the front of the show, yelling at people on how to be a good person and how maybe he wasn't for a minute, which I think is called spoken word. So that was the thing, which some of them are really awesome. I'm just saying, like, for that whole spell of time, for those few years, just every show had one of those guys where it's like, all right, the show's gonna start. I'm all right, who the fuck is that? And he's like, ah, he just starts yelling at you like I was a man in the boat sank, and he just like starts saying things, which some of it is awesome, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, am I supposed to mosh? What the fuck is going on? No, I'm playing.
Did you have like real bands on with you for the show, or
one real band? And it was kind of like I don't know how to explain it. It was like a funk heavy thing, but it wasn't like super heavy. It wasn't even as heavy as like, I don't know, maybe it was as heavy as POD. I don't really remember it too well.
So what were y'all doing? Like, why were y'all playing this?
Because we were trying to get over to this fucking other show that's weird, but for different reasons, called Headbang for the Highway. And we needed to tour across the US to get to this ridiculous fucking battle thing, where we dealt with Sumerian record battle thing. That was equally strange, just for different reasons, which we didn't know it would be strange till later. So yeah, that fucking show was strange. It was shitty and weird, and no one was there except for the other bands, and it was creepy, and I didn't want to walk around. And the staff there, which was like 2 people, who would just like disappear like very easily into this massive warehouse full of maze of weird shit. I feel like even that's too weird for a good story. I don't know, man. I'm so sorry.
The place sounds weird as fuck. What's it called again? Super Happy Fun Time?
Fun Town.
Fun Town, okay.
A place? Fun Town, fun place? Let me see if this fucking place is still kicking. How fucking crazy. It's, I don't understand it. And if they survived COVID, like, because I don't even know how they're surviving, like, reality. If they survived COVID, fucking wow. And also, those poor cats.
That's hilarious. Fuck.
I feel like I'm being a dick. I'm sorry.
No, man. That's a really weird place. Like I've talked to bands that have like played in kindergartens and shit, and like ice cream parlors and stuff like that. This one's pretty fucking weird though. So.
Yeah, weird. We played in a pizza parlor in like Pennsylvania in the sticks, in a basement of a pizza parlor.
That actually sounds kind of dope, man. You get free pizza?
Fox Pizza, and yeah, we did that was dope. The floor was very wet, and we busted our asses. It hurt, but that was cool.
Why was the floor wet, man? They have a bunch of cats too, or something?
I fucking wish. Well, I don't know why the fucking floor was wet. Good question. I don't remember. I think it was just because of how maybe sweaty we were. That was when we were on tour with Von Wolf. I don't know if you remember a band called Von Wolf, but
I hadn't heard of them.
They're cool. They're now called Bad Luck, and it's a pop punk outfit, and they're good. They're our friends. They're good dudes. I don't know if I can remember something weirder than that.
How many tours have you been on? We can't even count.
Yes, true.
Huh?
Yes, it's true. How many tours have you been on? I don't know.
Like more than 10?
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of figured that it was a shit ton.
Most of it was DIY.
That's dope, man.
We do, like East Coast stuff, a couple weeks at a time. We do that stuff often.
That's cool, man.
It was like 8 years of it. So.
Yeah, it all becomes like a blur after a while, I'm sure.
Yeah, especially since a large amount of it was with the core of the group. Me, Ben, and Victor. Insert drummer or second guitarist here and there, but it wasn't enough to kind of be indicative of any kind of phase that would tell me how many we've been on.
I gotcha. Well, back to Ljesus. You don't have any merch up on Bandcamp, but you said you got some shirts?
I finally printed merch for the first time. No, not for the first time. I printed some other shit 2 years ago. I just didn't go and put it online because like everything kind of ate shit to me afterwards. And I was just trying to sell them at shows because like I really didn't care about selling it online. Because again, like if I just don't feel like doing it, I don't want to do it. Like, the avenues of sharing, those things. And also they're garbage the way they were printed. I was so pissed off with what came out. And I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like they're awful. I'm looking at one right now. I'm just like, I hate this. Like I'm selling this shit for $5 because I hate it.
I saw a picture of that on Facebook. I was like, that's a really weird design.
It's just some meathead looking hardcore thing. And it just says, this kind of poison doesn't leave the bloodstream, which is a lyric.
It's just in a really weird spot. Like you can't really tell what it says.
In person you can, and if it was printed properly, like, and not like, because it's kind of like off the white, because red gets printed on white typically, so it's just like it's like a drop shadow of white. I don't know. It's a pile of shit. That's what it is.
But you have
Don't
like
let
other
me-
shirts and you have other
Thank
shirts
God.
and stuff though, right?
Thank fuck, yeah. But this shit'll be like $5 in person. For some reason, people buy them. Fools.
Because it's $5 for a shirt, man. That's a pretty good deal.
I guess I wouldn't pay $5 for it. You see, I'm totally trying to, sell my brand here.
But you said you had some other shirts. Are those ever gonna make it online?
I'm working on it. Yeah. So this is my long sleeve.
Oh shit!
The album cover on it. I like this one a lot, and it's actually a legitimate like print with not many hiccups. But the sleeve will say Ljesus. And then the other sleeve is waiting for you to come back to life,
Nice.
which is from Boss Level 1. But yeah, I've been using this picture before the album, so it doesn't matter to me anyways. I like this shirt. So there's the long
Yeah,
sleeve
cool.
that I have. Thanks. It's just those are the two t-shirts, and then I made this this one-off Christmas sweater.
Oh shit!
We found some dead stock American-made Fruit of the Loom sweater, which for some reason is like $100 online or some shit. I
God
don't know.
damn.
People are ridiculous with this fashion bullshit. So I thought I'd decrease the value of it and print on it. Because why not? So I put the thing on it,
Oh, okay. I see it. It's like inverted though. Okay. That's cool.
and same print except that's metal. That's foil. Nice little red foil,
Ooh,
metallic,
fancy.
doohickey.
Nice.
I got this one off that I had people hitting me up for. They were trying to buy that shit before I left, but I wanted to give someone on the road a chance to buy it, I guess, because I thought it'd be cool, like, But I can't, I unfortunately cannot sell that for $5. So
That one's $3.
that's how you negotiate.
So, what was the last thing you listened to?
The Cure, 100 Years.
You know, I never gave The Cure a fucking shot either. I heard that one song, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever the fuck. I don't remember the name of it. And then I was like, this is super fucking annoying, and never gave them a chance on anything else.
100 Years. Yeah, I don't like that fucking song either, really. But they have like a million songs. I like Disintegration. The album Disintegration is really awesome for me. 17 Seconds is awesome. It's goth as fuck. That's like some history shit right there, though. But this album Pornography it's whatevs. But that first song, 100 Years, is just, that was the last song I listened to today, for sure. The last whole fucking album I listened to was probably Kowloon Walled City. So Kowloon.
That's a fucking throwback, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, or weren't they like way back in the day, or is that like a current band? Maybe I'm confusing them.
I thought they started in like 2012, which
I might be confusing them with Walls of Jericho. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, Walls of Jericho. They still fucking going too, bro.
Are they? What the fuck, dude? Jesus Christ, man. I guess I'm out of the loop, man. So,
I mean,
what's your album of the year so far?
fuck year is it? 2021.
It is.
Shit. I'm trying to see what I've actually listened to. That's from the time frame.
No, yeah, a lot of artists will come on here and say they don't keep up with like new music and stuff like that. So, totally respectable answer, but yeah, be nice if you knew one.
What? Let me try to see what I've been doing with my life. There's recent albums that I didn't know came out that I've been fucking losing my shit about, but like, fuck, what did Perfect come out in 2020? Huh? The only, I don't know if it's like of the year though. Like that new Turnstile record's cool as shit, but like,
I think it came out this year, didn't it?
yeah. But like, I really like Mannequin Pussy, and I feel like I can listen to the new Mannequin Pussy EP in more repetition than the new Turnstile one.
I have never heard of that band before. Mannequin Pussy? What the fuck? Huh.
Yeah. They just toured with Angel Dust.
That's a hell of a name, Mannequin Pussy.
Sure as fuck is. Doesn't roll off the tongue, but it's very dry and hard, and I like, no, I'm playing.
Just like Mannequin Pussy.
Yeah. So this is dusty, I like it. Chalky and stuff.
Jesus Christ. Well, on that note, that's all I had to talk about. Unless you had something else you wanted to bring up.
Mannequin Pussy's fucking dope. Their last full length is awesome. It's not what you think it is. It's not a gross, disgusting band. They just have like some cool, super emotive, unhinged, vocals at times, and she does some punk rock stuff that I fucking love. I think that everyone should give Mannequin Pussy a shot. I didn't know that was actually like, as it came out, I totally didn't do that on fucking.
I feel like they named their band that so that you'd kind of be forced into like these weird situations with their name. Because I can't think of a way to say it where it doesn't sound super weird.
You give Mannequin Pussy a shot? Yeah. Fuck. It was a nightmare. I'm obsessed though with Mannequin Pussy and Kowloon Walled City. Especially their album Grievances, and I don't listen to a whole lot of new stuff, which fucking sucks, but it is what it is. Calvin Walt's not the Wednesday is cool. That's some super lo-fi, like sad girl stuff. And Alex, which is A-Licks, which I fucking hate how it's spelled, but A-L-I-C-K-S is some cool, electronic weird shit. I'm also obsessed with the first 3 Death Cab for Cutie records there. And I'm sorry that there's no album of the year. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just like I didn't hear a thing, bro. Last time I had an album for a year was in 2016 when Rhea came out from Oathbreaker. I was like, what is this? It's so awesome.
That's cool, man. You listen to such like a diverse group of like bands, like a lot of stuff I haven't ever heard of before, but like we're still playing similar in a similar vein. So like, really interesting that that's where you get your inspiration from.
Yeah. Music's beautiful for all the different emotions and all the different feelings that come along with them. And
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
next with you, dude. What do you, bro? Your shit is insane, bro. I saw that dude on the what is it? Fuck.
Hardcore Keem?
Dude, I just loved his face. He just didn't know what to do with his life. He was just like upside down. Meanwhile, I'm just like, yo, that's dope. Like totally like vibe for that. But he's just like,
that's the reaction that I get from most people. I think there's been like 4 or 5 people that have reacted, and they're always like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? So
I was like, yes, eat it. Spin kick, nothing. You can't. You'll fall over. Great. You can, but you'd have to like fucking get used to that insanity for however long. It's fucking awesome, dude. What's next for you, for fuck's sake?
For me, well, I just got back from the tour, and I didn't think it was going to go nearly as well as it did. And I actually like kind of made money. And every show that I went to, there was somebody there that knew who I was and like vibed with my shit. And that's pretty fucking crazy for people to like come up to you and say that type of stuff. So I want to like book a tour for like the whole fucking country, man. Like I'm fucking ready for it. You know what I mean? Like I was not expecting this to go well at all, but it went super super fucking well. So
fuck yeah, I think the East Coast is definitely like all the way up to up to New England is definitely about it a lot for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of mathcore bands up there. They'd be fucking sick.
The east side of the United States has far more mathy shit than the West. Not saying that not to go there. I'm just saying like it's so rad to just like fuck with it. Down here, they ain't shit.
I don't know about that. You got a little bit.
There's no mathcore show to put on here.
You got like Blind Tigers from there.
Blind Tigers from Panama City. That's the Panhandle. It's 9 hours away in a different time zone. Southeast Florida.
Okay, yeah.
No, there's no mathcore show to put on. You can't just call up Blind Tigers. Hey, we're doing a mathcore show. You want to come on? Like, no. They have to take off 3 days to fucking do just one show in South Florida because we're so far away. Whatever. It's not going to be worth it. All that gas. That's 18 hours of driving for a local show. Like they're not local for us at all. It's too far away. So like, there's no local mathcore show. Like you couldn't put on a mathcore show here. You couldn't put on really much of anything. You couldn't put on a pop punk show here either. All you could put on is like kind of a hardcore show with a couple of doom metal bands. There's a couple. I'm in one of them called Iron Buddha. I play bass. But
Iron cool. What?
Buddha.
Okay.
I just play bass. I have nothing to do with the writing of that. But we're writing new stuff and we're gonna be playing soon at a place called Poorhouse. But there's some cool bands. Oh, Tabien is a little bit on the slower mathy side. I don't know. Check out a band called Tabien, which I think means you good in Spanish. Tabien. But like
Tabien. Okay.
You could throw weird shows on here. There's no mathcore bands down here. Fucking, there might be one, and I just haven't. I'm just saying that so that they don't get pissed off at me. I don't know who the fuck they are.
I figured your scene would mostly be like death metal bands.
I fucking wish.
It's not? Oh. No. Isn't Florida supposed to be like the capital of death metal or some shit?
Tampa is.
I guess it's nowhere near you guys. See, I don't know the layout of Florida at all.
Tampa is like 4 or 5 hours away from us. And it used to be, I don't know if it still is, an And I know you probably could put on a death metal show there. I just I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
It's
kind of like out of the local scene or whatever in terms of like death metal and stuff.
at least in Tampa, yes. The metal scene down here, there actually is a decent like. There's a traditional heavy metal band called Midnight Spell, which my bass player is in, which is like, dare I say, like Priest and like, you know what I'm saying, like Judas Priest type shit, Iron Maiden type stuff, like just traditional, really good heavy metal. It's like somebody put them in like a time capsule and then brought them over here and was like, keep playing music. And they're just like, fire, and they fucking kill it. No, they like nail it.
That's sick.
They nail it. They're super talented and it's awesome.
That's sick.
But like, and they are able to play metal shows. There's plenty of metal bands, I think, but like, I don't know. It's weird. It's fucking weird. Anyways, let's not talk about that.
But yeah, I mean that's all I had to really talk about. Unless you had something else you wanted to bring up, I could just hop right into the out.
That's it.
So if you're looking for something to fill that Feralux-sized hole in your heart, you should check out "To Keep Me From Dying When I Want to Die," the new EP from Ljesus, which is what it's going to be called. You call it Ljesus from now on, all right? You're on Facebook, Bandcamp, Instagram, all streaming platforms. Am I missing any socials?
Bumble?
Are you
No.
on Bumble? Okay.
As legit.
Okay.
We're not. Swipe right.
As for me, drop my channel follow so you always know when I go live. You can also sub to get access to hit YouTube and other streaming platforms. Some exclusive emotes. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. YouTube folks, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, click the notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe. It's a great way to support me for free. Check out my music, The Sound That Ends Creation, at soundthatendcreation at bandcamp.com. Just released my new album, Boomers, Zoomers, Desperate Coomers. Check it out. My next guest is Possession 1981. Join us this Sunday, the 21st at 7 p.m. Central, right here at twitch.tv/thecast@ends-creation for the live cast. Thanks for being here, David. Hope you had a good time.
I did, man. Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah, man. And thank you guys for watching and listening.